Thank you. Ciao, Frankie.
How are you? Oh, I'm so excited.
First of all, I want to ask you, each one of you, how does it feel, to be back in your character in this universe? For Glee, obviously, I know it's not a comeback, but how does it feel, to be part of this universe?
It's the best thing ever. I love Franchini, and it's just the gift that keeps on giving. I love seeing that his growth, and he gets to do all new things in this movie. And just like Frankie personally, like as an Italian citizen, when I came to Italy, I have never in my life been recognized more as Franchini than in Italy. Like I got stopped every 3 feet by somebody being like, Franchini, oh my God. So I'm just sending so much love to my Italian fans. We love you. The Grandes love you. Mwah.
Thank you. We're a little bit crazy, but thank you so much.
I love it. Well, I'm Italian, so I'm also crazy.
Yeah, of course. I know. We understand each other. Yes.
How sweet. Yeah, it was amazing coming back to give this gift to the fans who have been nothing but amazing and passionate and loyal to us. And, Piper is such an interesting person, and to watch her have matured and grown up a little bit, but still be a little immature in the way that she teases people was great. And exploring different dimensions and multiverses and doing it all with people who feel like family. So it was great.
We are family. We're your family.
We are.
Love you.
Yeah, I definitely gotta say, I'm new and I haven't played this character before, but stepping into her was truly something special. I think Missy's definitely a character that I could relate to personally, and I hope that all the fans can relate to. And by the way, talking about the fans, I just want to acknowledge this fan base that Henry Danger has, and how welcoming and open they've been and how supportive they've all been. I've gotten so many messages saying you are so inspiring and we all love you so much, and it really warms my heart, and I so appreciate it so much. And I just really want to acknowledge them and give them my love, because they are so loving, and I love them so much back.
It was so fun, this movie, because you play a different version of yourself. I want to ask you, which version of yourself did you have the most fun, playing it? Which one you like the most?
I always say that I love the Shimmers look, but I also love my dystopian Canadian post-war apocalypse. Hold on, I can't figure out his
apocalyptic.
That word.
I can say it in Italian.
I can't English right now. but I love that one so much, because it's such an interesting way to storytell. I feel especially because I'm Canadian and I loved reading that part of the script. I think that made it even better. But seeing all the maple syrup and this the trees in the woods and all the terrain that they built, it was really fun. And just the entire action, it was high intensity. It was so much fun to film that one.
Franchini right here. So much fun to play something that is so different from anything I've ever done in my life. I like the challenge. I'm very competitive in real life and on reality TV, and it was fun to be competitive at work as an actor as well. I was like, let's nail this. And it was hard, but really rewarding. Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, I would have to say that my favorite was absolutely Van Piper.
Oh,
I've never done anything like that before. And actually, I did play a mole queen, so that was pretty transformative. That was on Henry Danger. But Van Piper, the hair, the makeup, or wig rather, and contact lenses, teeth, fangs, whole outfit.
Nails.
It was dramatic. Oh yeah, nails. I had super long nails. I completely forgot about that.
I had to take my nails off to go to the bathroom. That's how
I had to tape them on. I couldn't. I had leather pants on, so we're not even going there. But yeah, it was so much fun though. Still, it was so fun, and creating something that felt like I could be believably vampire queen was a challenge, but in a great way.
Yeah.
One last question, guys. Obviously, this movie is so fun, but there is an important, message about friendship and how much important it is. So I want to ask you, which is the most important message from this movie that you think the public, can take it from the movie?
I think that, for me, obviously, I'm very connected to the song Smile. And I think, we're in a interesting time in this world where we can all just maybe smile to get through some of the more difficult times. And while we're going to work and doing some very difficult things, just remind ourselves that, smiling is contagious, and you can maybe make someone's day a little bit better if you just smile. And if you're crying, cry while you're smile while you're crying, let's just try to make the world a little bit better. So that's a message to take from this film for me.
First of all, I want to ask you, how does it feel for you, every time to be back in this universe? Are you fond of your character? What is the feeling, when you come back to the universe? How does it feel for you?
It's a good feeling. I mean, it's it's getting right back into the saddle, and it's having fun with everybody again. It's a little bit like a family reunion. And I mean, for me, it felt like no time had really passed at all. Like we really just got back to cracking jokes and having fun and making a movie.
Yeah, and I've been in the universe doing Danger Force, right? So for me, there was continuity. I hadn't really stopped being in the universe or being Schwaz.
Yeah, of course.
But I was back with the Henry Danger cast and interacting with them now as adults versus before when I'd left them, they were kids still. So that was really cool.
So in this movie, it is really funny. I have to say this because you play different version of yourself. I want to ask you, which version of yourself you like the most? Which was the most fun to play?
I really like playing the post-apocalyptic Schwaz with the Cockney accent. I got to, help develop that, and find the accent. And then as soon as I got into the wardrobe and I saw what they were looking at for the wardrobe, I'm like, okay, now this is Cockney. This guy's got to be Cockney, and got to play with it. So to me was the most fun.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, again, it's part of the whole point of the movie of Jasper being very similar at his core. So for me, a lot of the differences just came down to like the scenario and the wardrobe. Dystopia was very, very fun. I enjoyed doing Dystopia. It was a cool set. It was a cool place to be, and we got to do some awesome fight sequences there too. So.
Is there something that you find, even in a positive way, a little bit challenging, playing all these characters? Something, I don't know, fun maybe happening behind the curtains?
Well, it's challenging in that it's variety, it makes it more interesting. And getting, there's a challenge to getting the accent down and making sure that, it sounds believable enough. And, so yeah, I felt a responsibility to get the act and still keep it grounded, keep the character grounded, keep it real, yet have this whole other new element. So it was a really fun, positive challenge for sure.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if there was really a challenge for me on it. I mean, I'm probably agree with Michael, the variety. I mean, there's also a lot of continuity because you're trying to remember what you did between, different versions and who did what.
You were playing sort of the same. That I think for me, looking at what you did, some of the challenge would be to keep him the same guy, yet he's in such different contexts.
Yeah, especially like when we got to like the Captain Stash stuff, like it's definitely a very different situation. Obviously, Jasper kind of being the superhero of that universe, but at his core, he's still Jasper. He's still lovable. He's still a great friend and a great guy.
I'm asking this because obviously watching the movie is really fun, to see all this version of you. But watching it, I was wondering, maybe it was difficult, even to change set, in a way you change a little bit your character, in every universe. So I was just curious about it.
Well, I think the sets and the wardrobe kind of helped with it because you kind of characterize a certain character to not only the wardrobe you're in, but the scenario you're in, the set. So it kind of helps give you like a vibe, and that once you get that kind of vibe, it kind of helps putting you into whatever character that you are playing in that scenario.
Yeah, of course. And since it's one of the team, I want to ask you this. Are you familiar, with the word of fan fiction? At least you know what it is, or you have, because watching it, I wonder people that doesn't know that word at all, maybe it could be, weird, to see all this transformation.
I think it's a generational thing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, you're right.
And I think that also people, because the Henry Danger universe has been around for so long, there's a lot of pages on the internet that are dedicated to all the different characters, and and a lot of people contributing to their ideas of what should happen to each of the characters. So I think the notion of fan fiction is out there. Maybe to us as adults it feels a little more foreign, but I think to kids it's pretty accessible. That's my theory.
Yeah, okay. And I make one last question, because obviously the theme of this movie is friendship, and we know that maybe sometimes pride and ambition can ruin friendship. So I want to ask you, which is, according to you, the most important lesson the new generation can take from this movie, because it's a very important lesson we learn watching this movie, I guess, about friendship at all.
Yeah, I think the most important message to take from the movie is to really, have those tight-knit friendships where someone's going to have your back. I mean, we really live in a world where everything is kind of tied to a number on social media, your popularity and everything. So, but I don't think you need to worry so much about trying to spread yourself too thin amongst, dozens, thousands of people. I think what's most important, and I've come to realize it as I've gotten older, and especially when you get older and, you've got a lot more life's problems facing you. It's always better to just have those select few of friendships that you are very close with and you have a really good bond with. You want people that are going to have your back, through the worst of it. They're always going to be there for you, and if you really, really need their help, you can always ask them for it. So I hope that people take that away from this, that you really want to have fewer strong relationships rather than more thinner relationships
Yes.
with no substance.